All right, here is our third in our series of solving for unknown angles using equations, and this is Unit 6, Lesson 4. So again, your materials, you'll need a protractor to check your measurements, not to answer the questions. And we'll start with the opening exercise. The complement of an angle is 4 times the measurement of the angle. Find the measurement of the angle and its complement. So if you're looking at if you're using the vocabulary, complement means that it has to be the sum of 90 degrees. And if one angle is 4 times the measurement of another angle or of the original angle, then this is how we would set up our equation. It would be x plus 4 times x, because we have the angle, plus 4 times that angle, and it's equal to 90 degrees because we're talking about complementary angles. When we simplify by collecting like terms, we have 5x equals 90. So to isolate x by using the multiplicative inverse, which is our multiplication property of equality, we would multiply each side by 1/5. And so 1/5 of 90 is 18. So x is equal to 18. So the measurement of the original angle, or the first angle, is 18, which means the measurement of the complement of the angle would be 4 times 18, which is 72. And if we do 18 plus 72, we get 90. All right, so let's take a look at example 1. We have our diagram. We need to find the measurement of angle FAE and angle CAD. So FAE is 2x and CAD is 6x, plus we know we have a 90-degree angle, and all of that is equal to 170. Now how do we know that? Because if you take these angles all together, it makes the mirror image of 170, which is a vertical angle. So now, collecting like terms, we would have 8x, and also in the same equation, we can also subtract 90 using our subtraction property of equality, so that we can start isolating x. So that means 170 minus 90 would mean we'd have 8x equals 80, and then obviously multiplying by 1/8, 1/8 of 80 is 10. So therefore the measure of angle FAE is 2 times 10, because we have 2x, so 2 times 10 is 20, so this would be 20 degrees. And the measure of CAD would be 6 times that, so 6 times 10 is 60. All right, continuing on, we have 2 lines meet at a point. List the relevant angle relationship in the diagram. Set up and solve an equation to find the value of x. Find the measurement of one of the vertical angles. So we could do this a couple different ways. If we know that 3x is going to be equal to x plus 64, then we can divide this angle into 3 parts by using the vertical angle right here, and then dividing the others into 2 equal parts, because that would be x, and then this would end up giving us 3x. So first we measure an angle of 64 degrees, and so that's what this first dotted red line is we're measuring 64 degrees out of this whole entire angle. So as shown, that means the remaining portion must be x, because we have adjacent angles. And then next we can use our protractor to find the measurement of x, and use this measurement to partition the other angle in the vertical pair. So we can figure out what x is and then partition it. So since we have a shared x, because they're shared on both sides of this vertical angle, our equation can look like this. 2x is equal to 64. Because again, if you just concentrate on the red lines right here, this is 64, which means this has to equal to 64 also. So half of 2x and half of 64 is 32. So that means that each x is equal to 32 degrees. So that means the measurement of each angle in the vertical pair is 3 times 32, which is 96 right here. And if we add 32 to 64, we're going to get 96 also. So if we set up the equation as it is shown, the equation would be 3x is equal to 64 plus x. So isolating x, we want to get x on the left side of the equation, so we add or subtract x from both sides. That would leave us with 2x equals 64, and half of x again, and half of 64 is 32. All right, so using our opening exercise and example 1, go ahead and do exercise 1. Check your answer when you're finished by continuing the video. All right, you should be done with exercise 1. Go ahead and pause the video and check your answer. All right, continuing on. Let's take a look at example 2. So 3 lines meet at a point. List the relevant angle relationships in the diagram. Set up and solve an equation to find the value of b. Well, we know that we have c plus 37 plus 43 all sum up to make a straight line. So we have angles on a line, and that would mean that it's equal to 180 degrees. C plus 80, because we're adding 37 and 43, that's 80, equals 180. And then to isolate for C, we would get C equals 100. Well, because B and C are vertical angles, because we have 2 lines intersecting, and that means B has to be 100 degrees also. All right, so let's try exercise 2. Check your answer when you are finished by continuing the video. All right, you should be done with exercise 2. So check your answer and continue. All right, example 3. The measurement of an angle is 2/3 the measurement of its supplement. Find the measurement of the angle. So I'm going to use a tape diagram to model this problem. So if it's 2/3, then we know that if we have the supplement is 3 parts, divided in 3 parts, we don't know what size these parts are, but the angle that we're talking about is 2/3 of that, then because we know it's a supplement, it has, both of these parts have to be 180 degrees. So with that, we have 5 units, which is 180. That means 1 unit would have to be equal to 36. 2 units would be 72. And 3 units would be 108. So another strategy you can use is guess and check. So if we have 2/3 of a guess, we could pick 60. 2/3 of 60 is 40. However, 60 plus 40 is not 100. All right, it is 100, but it's not 180, so it's not the answer. We can try 90. 2/3 of 90 is 60. Well, 90 plus 60 is 150, which is still not 180 degrees. So let's set up an equation. Let x represent the angle. So that means x is equal to 2/3 of whatever 180 minus that angle is. So using distributive property, 2/3 of 180 is 120, and 2/3 of x is 2/3 x. To isolate the variable, we would add 2/3 x to both sides. So now that means we have 5/3 x equals 120. Then, in order to isolate x, we have to multiply by the reciprocal. So the reciprocal of 5/3 is 3/5, and 3/5 of 120 is 72. So the measurement of the angle is 72 degrees. The measurement of its supplement would then be 180 minus 72, which is 108. All right, using this information, go ahead and apply it to exercise 3, and then check your answer when you are finished by continuing the video. All right, you should be done with exercise 3, and this is what you should have, using a tape diagram. All right, example 4. 3 lines meet at a common vertex of a ray. List the relevant angle relationships in the diagram. Set up and solve an equation to find the value of z. So we're going to let x be the measurement of the indicated angle. So therefore, we have x plus 29 plus 90, because we have this 90-degree angle right here. And because they are angles on a line, we have equals 180 degrees. So x is plus 119, because we're adding 90 plus 29, equals 180. Then, isolating x by using our properties of equality, we figure that x is 61. So x is 61 degrees, and we need x plus 90 is going to equal z. So therefore, z is equal to x plus 90 because they are adjacent angles, and z is equal to 61 plus 90, so therefore z, the entire angle of z right here, is 151. So using that information, go ahead and try exercise 4 and check your answer when you're finished by continuing the video. Alright, you should be done with exercise 4. So pause the video and check your process against the answer key here, and also check your answer. Alright, let's wrap this up. In every unknown angle problem, it is important to identify the angle relationship or relationships correctly in order to set up an equation that will yield the unknown value. You're going to check your answer by substituting or measuring to be sure it is correct. All right, we'll see you in class.